You are listening and watching to a very special podcast. Sorry if I have been pretty much stuttering and doing this and doing that. Ugh, I really need to work on that. Oh, and being kind of slow. It's like a bad actor. Ugh, can't even stand myself sometimes. I'm just trying to get these ideas from the back of my head as much as I can. So we're going to continue where we left off with Maggie and the rest. So I hope you guys like it. Enjoy. There was a meeting going on still, but it was wrapping up quite nicely. Alicia Roman, former bounty hunter and father to Velissa Roman, agreed to help. But there's only one condition. The condition was Alicia's machete gun was being held in the warehouse, but it's heavily guarded by manifestation. Lucky for Maggie and the others, they agreed to get it back. Oh, and one more thing, said Roman. Anything. What is it? Maggie asked. Alicia gestured to his daughter. Take my daughter along with you, said Alicia. When Vasilissa heard this, she gasped and said, Father, wait, Hey, come on. Why are you getting so scared? It's gonna be a lot of fun, Maggie said. Yeah, I bet maybe you'll learn something, Carmine said. Vasilissa was a little nervous, but she shyly glanced over at where Sting and Rogue were just staring at her, as well as Lecter and Frosh. Just seeing that made Velissa shivered. She sighed and she said, Okay. Yes, Father, I'll do it, Vasilissa said. The former bounty hunter placed his hands on his daughter's shoulders and said, You'll be fine. That I promise you, my little porcelain doll, said Alicia. Vasilissa nodded. And so the journey begins. During the journey, it looked like Maggie and the others were walking, of course. No ride, actually. They had to walk. Why are we walking? Vasilissa asked. I mean, do you think it might be faster that way? Vasilissa said. Sorry, but I'm making a few exceptions. I know it's gonna be long, but if we take a vehicle, these two are gonna get sick to the core. Sick? You mean riding on vehicles makes them sick? Vasilissa said. Yeah, it's called, what's it called? Oh yeah, motion sickness. You get easily sick from motions and, yeah, I know what it is. Sorry, I just forgot, Vasilissa said. But boy, was she embarrassed. However, there was a wind in the air. Whew, wow, that was pretty chilly, said Lector. You said it. Good thing I got this baby on. However, someone else was already shivering. So cold. So so cold.
Vasilisa was really shivering. Golly, I've never been this cold. Oh, I'm so cold. I'm so frozen, Vasilisa said. Just then, Rogue took off his cloak that he was wearing, his own cloak-like jacket, and placed it around Vasilisa. Here, you can take it. Just borrow it. You can give it back when you're not cold anymore. Rogue said. Oh, yeah, thanks, Vasilisa said. Rogue slightly smiled and said, don't worry. It's the least I can do for an ally. Then he walked off with the rest. Vasilisa couldn't help but stare at him. Talk about a weird guy, she thought. Just as they were walking ahead, manifestations were coming in, but they weren't alone. Ragamuffins and transfigurations, they were all coming this way. Lecter and Frosh had to be held back. Vasilisa was a little afraid of what was happening and realized that the three of them would stand no chance, but Maggie and the two saber-toothed Dragon Slayer twins took down the monsters with all their strength. Maggie cheered out. All right, you two really know your stuff. Now this is what I call teamwork. Man, that was so cool, Maggie said. When Vasilisa saw this, she was staring at the three with big surprise on her face. Wow, they just took down those monsters with such great strength of blood and white and shadows? I never seen such power. I don't think that's darkness. I think that's shadows. And that one looks pretty much like light. Just who in the world are they? Vasilisa whispered to herself. They're the most strongest dragon slayers you would ever meet, Lector said. Startled, Vasilisa glanced over at Lector. He was crossing his little arms and his paws, folding them, and he looked pretty confident. Frosh was beside Lector, just watching, with his hands held behind his back. I'm not saying they're the most powerful, but together, they're unstoppable. It's like nothing can ever stop them now. But, nevertheless, they're really good people, Lector said. Really? I don't believe it. It's just amazing, Vasilisa said. Suddenly, Lector and Frosh looked at each other. And then Lector said in a teasing voice, "Oh, you love them, don't you?" Lector said. Vasilisa looked embarrassed. Stop. Please, don't embarrass me that way. Besides, I don't think I ever had a crush on a boy ever again since my horrible years from middle school. And also from graduation, I guess, Vasilisa said. Wow, you graduated? Wait, from what? Frosh said. Are you really that big of an idiot? She said she graduated, which meant she must have graduated from school.
Wow, that's cool,
Frost said. Yeah, it is. So what do you mean you haven't liked any crushes lately? Whoa, 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 whoa. I'm not saying I hate guys. No. I'm saying I've been having a lot of bad luck with some guys. Really, really bad luck. Some that I find too mushy, some are really jerks, and some are really immature, and others are just, ugh, it's crazy. Vasilisa said. Then one of the ragamuffins flew down. They swooped down and they were going to attack Vasilisa. Vasilisa let out a scream, and before she knew it, this could be the end. Or was it? Sting moved into between Vasilisa and the monster. He held Vasilisa to him and said, "Hang on tight, this is gonna be pretty gruesome." Then he fired with his white dragon roar. The ragamuffin let out a screech and it went into ashes. Vasilisa couldn't help but shivered more. I can't believe you did that. That's amazing, Vasilisa said. Sting shrugged. Yeah, well, don't call me third generation for nothing. What? What's third generation? Vasilisa said. Oh, I guess she doesn't even know about the difference of dragon slayers. Here, let me explain. Wait, shouldn't it be me because I'm the one that knows? Yeah, but you're the one that taught me it, so come on, let me just tell her, okay? Maggie said. Oh, all right. Always has to be your way, right? Doesn't always have to be my way, said Maggie. Then she turned to Valissa and explained. So you see, first generation is where a human dragon slayer is raised by a dragon, an actual big ass dragon, and are trained to know the lost art of dragon slayer magic. And that, my friend, is called first generation. And second generation is where, okay, this kind, they weren't raised by dragons, but they had the dragon lacrima inside of them to give them great full power. But if you were to combine first and second together, you would get third generation. Like, for real. Maggie said. When Vasilisa heard this, she couldn't believe it. Wow, third generation. I always wonder, maybe if they had, like, a lot more, said Vasilisa. Now that would be pretty interesting. Come on, let's keep moving, Maggie said. Vasilisa listened to the leader's instructions, and she began walking alongside the rest, not really walking behind them anymore like she used to, and is giving them new respect. Alright, thank you for listening and watching. I'll see you next time. I'm Catherine Donovan. Bye-bye.